Sam, let's get into what we're obsessed with, the stories and the people of the week.
Okay. Well, I am obsessed with Point Nemo, which I had never heard about before this very week. But I read an article about it in The Atlantic by Cullen Murphy.
I want to confess I've never heard of it and I don't know where it is.
It is the oceanic point of inaccessibility, all right? Which means that it is the place in the ocean that is farthest from land.
Right.
It is in the South Pacific Ocean, and it is so remote that sometimes the closest human beings are the astronauts in the International Space Station.
Okay, that's insane.
Oh, I could not get enough of this article. I highly recommend it. Depending on what happens in the election, you may be able to find me there on November 6th. I'll be living on a raft of microplastics.
You have to, if the worst comes to the worst, I know what you're saying, you have to stay. You can't leave the country that you've become a citizen of.
Sorry, I'll be sailing away. Oh no, so much happened in the country. I also have to tell you about my neighbor in the country who I think booby-trapped his Trump Vance sign.
Why do you, because do you keep stealing it?
Oh, no, well, okay. So in 2020, he put up signs and everyone would rip them down. So you would walk past my little country road, and his Trump sign would be ripped in half or torn down, and then you would see him out there just balefully tapping a nail into it to try to preserve it. And now this year, it is perched in a mound of fresh dirt. Like it's almost like there's a body buried underneath with some leaves scattered over top, and then this just like these little thin sticks holding up this very gently, gingerly placed Trump Vance sign, and we're afraid to touch it.
In case it's electrocuted.
Well, I think there's probably a camera on it, or maybe, maybe some electrical wiring. We were thinking maybe a bear trap.
Oh, right.
mean?
So you should stay away.
Some type of snare.
You've just got to stop stealing his sign.
I've just got to stop ripping them, but I'm so tempted. So tempted.
Well, the other thing is you could do it and you could film yourself doing it so that if anything happens to you, at least there will be an electronic record.
That's good. I'll be satisfied with that. Okay, tell me what you're obsessed with.
Well, or you should make sure that he has free tickets to the menopause show.
Well, obviously he'll be in the front row with you.
Yeah, I will sit next to him and say, let's hear all about Sam's vulva.
Let's hold hands.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing for neighbours to know about. All right, so the only thing I'm obsessed by this week, well, I'm always obsessed by many things. I was slightly obsessed by Kanye saying that he wanted to sleep with his mother-in-law, Bianca's mother, only because it triggered a very tabloid memory of living in Britain when there was a government minister called Alan Clark who lived in a huge castle and his family had made their money by inventing paisley. You know that? The paisley fabric with those kind of swirly things that we all have dressing gowns in. English people are basically born in paisley and we have to wear it until the age of 10.
They look like a bacteria that you would see under a microscope.
Exactly, like in a Petri dish.
Yes.
Anyway, he not only slept with his girlfriend and her daughter, but also her sister. They were all South Africans, and when his wife said famously in Britain, it became a sort of catchphrase, well, if you bed people below stairs, they will go to the press. So that was his wife's response.
People below stairs?
Below stairs.
Oh.
But the husband of the woman he'd been sleeping with and the father of the two daughters got on a plane from South Africa, came to London and said he was planning to horsewhip Alan Clark.
Okay.
Whereupon Alan Clark disappeared into one of the many rooms in his castle. And it just became this insane story that I thought was not unlikely to happen to Kanye because he just seems to attract chaos at this point.
Is he still rattling around in that giant castle?
No, he died.
Okay.
He died.
Well, he still might be in the castle, though.
He might still be in the castle, you're right.
Yeah. It could be. Well, you'll have to ask John Oliver about that.
Oh, yes, we could. Or it might turn out to be under the grave of your neighbour. Under the Trump sign.
Oh, there he is.
You see how we tie it all together?
We do.
We're just absurd strings of content.
He's giving back. He's feeding the earth.